I mean, I remember in high school, our director would have us write down the history of our character. And to me, it was really developing, like, what motivates this person? Why are they doing this? You know, what in their background would make them act this way? And that was always, like, to me, that's how you got to, like, the meat and the potatoes of that character, you know, and really, sorry, you're a vegetarian, that didn't, just the potatoes for you.
Was that metaphor insulting?
Was that insulting? I'm sorry.
Was that metaphor triggering?
Was that a trigger?
I'm just like over here in the corner, I'm like, oh yeah.
Potatoes and tofu of the character.
You're fine.
And we are so sensitive now.
So
ridiculous. You're listening to The Other 50%, a herstory of Hollywood. I'm Julie Harris Walker. This is the podcast where I talk to successful women in entertainment and hear their stories. Our presenting sponsor is the end-to-end production solution, Green Slate. Whether it's start paperwork, time cards, purchase orders, or reports, everything is digital, everything is on the app, and you can work from wherever you are. The future is actually here. And if you'd like to hear this pitch in person or see it for yourself, call me as I am working there. Here's my number, 310-789-2001, extension 323, or julie.walker@gslate.com. Now back to my weekend job. For today's episode, I spoke with Anna Lake and Jennie Nystrom about their web series, Tracy Buckles. A Los Angeles-based actress originally from the Central Coast, Anna Lake has been immersed in a love of film since childhood. She made her public debut in the short film Finding Home for Now that she wrote and starred in. The film had its world premiere at the San Luis Obispo International Film Festival in 2017. She plays the title role in Tracy Buckles. A graduate student of clinical psychology at Antioch University, Jennie Nystrom is an accomplished producer who enjoys collaborating with her husband on all aspects of film production. Her artistic capabilities are eclectic, and she has a deep passion for story supervision, set design, hair, makeup, costumes. She does all the things, basically. She's a producer, among all the other jobs, on Tracy Buckles. I spoke with both of them, and we basically solved all the problems of the world. You can find us at theother50%.com for added features, photos, show notes, and the merchandise. You can also listen on Apple Podcasts and all the podcast places. And also the full season of Catch a Break, the insider's guide to getting into and navigating Hollywood, is now available on Apple Podcasts and all the podcast places and on the website, catchabreakpodcast.com. Go check that one out too, because we are actively working on season 2. All right, here's my conversation with Anna Lake and Jennie Nystrom. Have a listen. I'm here today with one of the producers and the lead actress of Tracy Buckles, the web series. Welcome, you guys.
thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
I'm so glad that you're here. So I want to talk about the series, but I also want to talk about each of you and your careers and everything that led to this point. So Anna, let's start with you.
Oh, okay.
You were the lead actress in this series.
Yes.
Let's talk about how was that?
It was pretty awesome. Let's just start there. Yeah, I was just kind of doing my own thing. I made my own, like, short film. Found Robin and Jen via Craigslist. Like, literally saw a Craigslist ad in Little San Luis Obispo, and they were doing a web series there, and I was like, oh, I just want to be a part of this and, like, meet other creative people.
Wait, and Robin is the writer-director.
Of Tracy Buckles, and of this other web series called Nico Life.
Okay.
Which is awesome.
And also Jennie's husband.
And also Jennie's husband.
Okay.
Yeah, side notes, my bad, guys. So I went and
Okay, what was in Craigslist that you saw? Was it an ad for this series?
So it was like an ad like, hey, we have this web series. We need, a couple minor roles.
So this was
and
for
extras.
the web series we did prior to Tracy Buckles.
Okay, this is Jennie talking.
Yeah. Oh, hi.
What was that web series called?
Nico Life.
Nico Life, yeah.
Nico Life?
Nico Life, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were looking for actors for that series.
Correct. And that's how...
I met you guys.
Yes.
Yeah. And they I had to go on set for a day, and I had to make out with a guy that I didn't know, who'd, I feel like smoked a pack of cigarettes beforehand, and I was just like, this is weird, but whatever.
Nice work if you can get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
But working with them was really fun and easy, and Robin's, I think, kind of a creative genius. I slightly idolize him. Don't tell me that.
Kind of a creative
Robin,
genius.
Just kidding. I don't think anything like that. Don't go to your head. I'm just joking. But yeah, no, he's great. And so I was just super excited to be a part of it. And then I feel like it was a year almost, but it was probably, I'm exaggerating.
Yeah, I mean, her part was so small that, we always kept her in mind. It was like, she was so great. And yeah, so we wanted
So she must have done well in that little part. If then
Exactly.
You thought she could carry this whole thing.
Exactly. I mean, Robin actually created the role with Anna in mind, so.
Wonderful.
Right?
Yeah. How flattering is that?
It was insane. He just, a year later, didn't really have contact with you guys. Life goes on, you do your thing. Then he emails me like, hey, I wrote this for you, basically. I was like, oh.
That's cool.
Well, thanks. And like
Did he
slightly
actually say that?
screaming inside. No, he told me later, but he was like, hey, I have this role. I'd like you to play the lead. And like as an actress that you're like struggling, you're just like, yeah, like, oh my God, that's exciting. Like somebody wants me as the lead. Oh my gosh, this is a huge role to take on. And then you read the script and you're just like, this girl's awesome. Like she's so vulgar and says what she thinks. And I just fell in love with Tracy. I thought she was awesome. She's a chick I'd want to hang out with,
She was a bit badass.
She's a badass. Yeah, exactly. And you know me, I'm really shy normally. When I meet new people, I'm kind of like, okay. And Tracy's like, whatever, like, okay. So I really like that and admired her. So.
I think I didn't know you were shy because I met you like making out with a random dude on set. I mean, and you like jumped into it. And I was like, this chick's like up for anything.
Well, yeah, because I gotta, stay true to the role. I didn't want to do it, but I did it, I was like, oh man, this is weird. He's talking about his girlfriend, he's smoking cigarettes, and then he'd like lean in and I'm like, oh.
Okay, note to actors, don't smoke before a kissing scene.
Right, I was like, come on.
Brush your teeth, have a mint.
He was nervous.
He was very nervous.
Be kind.
He was a really nice guy though. He treated it well. He caressed my face, right? Like, thank you.
So that's how it began.
Yeah, and so that's how Tracy began. Yeah.
That is awesome. Talk to me about your background in acting. How did you come to it?
My dad, he always was this theatrical actor, so he would always go to theater. When I was really young, I remember I'd come home from school and he'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go to the play, I'm gonna go to a rehearsal, and I would I'd hurry and grab all my stuff, all my homework, throw it in my backpack, zip it up, okay, I'm coming with you. Because
cool.
I just loved it. I loved the smell of a theater, I loved the way everyone interacted and how it was a family and how you slowly watched something turn into this breathing thing. It was just so fast. So I never did my homework. I'd always act like I was doing my homework, but I'd sit in the chair and I'd be like, oh my God, this is what I want to do with my life.
Oh, what a great way to grow up.
Yeah. So I got to do that, and then he would direct things, and I would, I'd sit up in what is that, little light box, right? Yeah.
That makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a certain word,
the
terminology.
Box, the booth?
The booth, maybe?
The lighting booth?
Yeah. Lighting booth, and he had an assistant manager because he would be directing, so I'd go up with her and I'd learn how to cue lighting, and I'd watch this whole play happen and watch the audience's reaction to what my dad has put together. It was just
so cool.
It was so cool. I'm getting the chills. Thanks, Dad. But yeah, and then so I kind of got addicted to that, but I did theater a little bit, but I'm not as animated as my dad was. It's very he uses his face and his hands, and he's just large at life. And so I noticed I was more about film, and I liked how personal it was and how the camera can kind of see past all of the crap that you put on, I think. All these masks, and they could see it and read it and see what you're thinking. And
it's much smaller.
So much smaller and so much more intimate. And I always felt like that's always sunk in with, yeah. So then I started taking classes and just doing stuff on my own here and there, writing stuff, meeting other creative directors or cinematographers, and made my own short film and started that. So it just started from there. So thanks, Dad. Basically, yeah, Dad just helped me out on that.
And did you grow up in San Luis Obispo?
I'm kind of all over the place. I lived in Arrowhead for a minute, and then Salinas, Prunedale. Nobody knows about Pawtucket. Mm-hmm. We'd go hang out with cows. Yeah. Yep. And then I lived in San Luis Obispo for a really long time, yeah.
And he was doing local theater in all these places?
Oh, yeah, exactly, in all the places. In Salinas, there was this place called the Western Stage where he would go and do Grapes of Wrath and The Diviners, I think that's what it's called. It was he loved smaller like little black theater boxes. That was like his favorite thing. He would just grab like weird little like Sam Shepard plays, and he would just love it, and he would direct it or be in it. And then he'd also do like the bigger stuff, like, you know, Grapes of Wrath and all this other stuff. But yeah,
That's great.
it was really fun.
And where do you live now?
I'm currently back in SLO.
Uh-huh.
I lived here in LA for a minute, but then I had to go back because my dad did pass.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I'm trying to come back.
He sounds so fun. We wanted to meet him.
Oh my god, he's amazing.
Yeah.
It's fun watching him. He can be friends with anybody, like a rock. And you're like, Dad, who are you talking to? It's like, my friend. And you're like, what? Like, he made friends with everybody. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
This is why art matters.
Right.
So great. All right, Jennie, how about you?
How about me?
What did you do in this series first?
In this series, I helped produce as one of the producers, and I also dabbled in lots of other different areas. So did hair and makeup, some set design, and costumes, and craft services.
Of course.
Yeah,
This is independent film, people.
exactly. What didn't I do, right?
Whatever needed to be done.
Exactly. I was there to assist. And
Was this an interest of yours before you met your husband?
yeah, I mean, we actually met doing theater together.
Oh, you did?
In high school, like way back.
Did you marry your high school sweetheart?
I don't say it that way.
I'm going to say it that way.
I don't say it that way because, like, he technically didn't go to my high school. So it's like, because he was a foreign exchange student.
From where?
Sweden, at my high school. So I never thought of him as like my high school sweetheart because he wasn't, because you think of like the person that you met at your high school.
Well, didn't you meet him at your high school?
I know, but he was foreign. He was like,
Did you date him in high school?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Checks all the boxes.
Okay.
Sorry to tell
He was
you.
my high school sweetheart. Shit. I've never said that before. That sounds weird. It sounds weird to the
Hi,
tongue.
my name's Jennie. I married my high school sweetheart.
Are we at like
I'm glad we could do this for you.
Exactly.
So when did he move here?
So that's a complicated question.
I know, you should have brought him. It's a good story.
Right? So he was, I mean, we met like when we were in high school.
Yeah.
So after high school, I moved to Sweden.
Oh.
So yeah, for a bit. And then we moved.
Just to be with him?
Yeah, so he was going to college in Sweden.
Did you also do that?
Go to college in Sweden?
Yeah.
I mean, I studied Swedish, so I didn't want to go to school right away. So I was there and I was learning how to speak Swedish, kind of, having adventures. And
And how long did you stay there?
about 2 years. Yeah. And then he changed his mind about what school he wanted to go to. He was going to school for economics and then was like, this sucks. And went to film school in Sweden. So yeah, I've helped out with every project since film school.
Oh, you've been making films forever then.
Yeah. So
And then when did the two of you move here?
we met in Pennsylvania. So that's where I grew up.
Okay.
And after Sweden, we moved back to Pennsylvania, and then were there for about a year, and then moved to San Luis Obispo, California.
Oh, and then you're making series there.
Yep.
Is there a big community there doing this?
No.
No, but there is a lot of creative people, as in all aspects of art, I feel like.
I mean, it is kind of an artsy community, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I have always loved the arts, and I've always been fascinated with character and what drives a character and the psychology behind a character, and
Which leads to?
which has led to my career choices, which is becoming a therapist. Yeah. So
It really is so related.
it is so related.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember in high school, our director would have us write down, the history of our character. And to me, it was really developing, like, what motivates this person? Why are they doing this? What in their background would make them act this way? And that was always, like, to me, that's how you got to, like, the meat and the potatoes of that character, and really, sorry, you're a vegetarian, that didn't,
Rude.
just the potatoes for you.
Was that metaphor insulting?
Was that insulting? I'm sorry.
I'm slightly.
Was that metaphor triggering?
Was that a trigger?
I'm just like over here in the corner. I'm like, oh my god.
Potatoes and tofu of the character.
You're fine.
No, we are so sensitive now.
So
Ridiculous. Okay.
yeah, so I think a lot of like where this starts is I like to start in the beginning when I'm not a writer, but I love being in the beginning of the writing process and sitting down and thinking about and analyzing the character. And I often talk about, like, I don't know if this character would do this Robin, because it really doesn't fit, if we were talking about their background, this doesn't fit how they would react. And just kind of I like to psychoanalyze every character and really get into it. So in there, in the beginning and once we're editing and getting stuff,
you're deep in that character.
I'm deep in it, yeah. And I use that for when I'm thinking about how the character would dress and how they would do their hair and makeup and how their bedroom would look. All of that to me is their psychology. Mm-hmm. It is a feature of who they are. And I always would think about this needs to be true to this character. And that's...
Do you ever diagnose them that one has a personality disorder?
Do I ever diagnose them? I don't think so. I don't really it's too boxed in. We're too complex for... a diagnosis can be helpful, but no, because we're more than that, we're way beyond a label.
Yeah.
I think labels are limiting, and especially on screen, we're not one thing. You want to show your whole range of human nature.
All the things.
Tracy, for sure. She's a little bit of everything.
She really is, yeah.
Okay, let's talk about what this is about.
Of course, let's.
Go.
So Tracy Buckles is a web series, and they're 5-minute fast-paced episodes that is about these powerful, badass ladies. And Tracy, the main character, on a lake here, she gets cursed by an evil mage. And it takes the duration of the web series for her to figure out how to get out of this curse and meets some fun, interesting characters along the way.
Yeah, she really does.
I was impressed by how much story there was in it and how fast it went and how much character development, and it is so little and snackable. You guys caught me folding my laundry while I was watching the series.
Oh, nice.
I watched the whole series and I didn't even get through my whole bucket of laundry.
There you go.
And I think that's kind of what you guys wanted to do, though, right? Things that had audience wanting more.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think you really get who these people are in 4 or 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. That was impressive.
Right?
How was it for you to embody this character? What was your process to prepare?
I have a friend that's kind of similar to her, mm-hmm. and she's just very blunt mm-hmm. and very just herself. She walks into a room and you just instantly know what she's feeling. She'll tell you how she thinks. She doesn't hold anything back. Very sassy. And so I kind of hung out with her a lot, and I'd always kind of analyze her movements and the way she would hold a room and stuff.
Does she know you modeled this on her?
No. Oops, she doesn't.
Should we call it out right now? Who is it?
It's my really good friend, yeah. She's a crazy lady. I love her. She's got multiple colored hair, amazing makeup, always is on point.
She knows who she is.
Yeah, she's flawless. Yeah, so I did that. I would watch her a lot, and I feel like I would intertwine that with Tracy and then talking with Robin a lot.
Remember when we sat down and had scones and talked about her for the first time?
Yeah, we really talked about her path, things that weren't involved in the script.
That's my favorite part. We
you sat and talked about her backstory?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We had it was before pre-production way back.
What do you think Tracy is? And we all agreed she doesn't care about her looks.
Yeah, we just ate sugary treats and dived into her psychological past.
Mm-hmm.
It was just
it was great.
Yes.
Yeah. What a great opportunity.
Yeah. And I what I thought was interesting, and I've noticed when I was doing it, becoming Tracy, is I noticed she wouldn't care about what she eats. So I slightly didn't care what I was eating, and I gained weight, of course, as anybody. And I noticed that when I would get on set and I'd try to button my pants. I don't know if you remember this. I could never button my pants.
That's so funny.
And I would always just keep them unbuttoned, wear a tank top, and just run around with unbuttoned pants on scenes.
And then you nailed it.
Yeah, because I just felt like she wouldn't be put together. She wouldn't be what we see all the time in films as a hero, some gorgeous babe, rock on for them. But I just felt like Tracy wasn't that. Yeah. She wasn't this hot chick. She was just a chick that rocked.
She rocked her own.
Yeah, rocked her own thing and was awesome.
She was a real person.
Exactly, yeah.
So she gets cursed in this series.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a little bit of witchcraft.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did you guys research that? I'm looking at Jennie.
How did we research that?
Or did you make it up?
Witchcraft, it isn't completely explained in the series, the witchcraft, but it is something in the world that I know Robin and, wanted to be commonplace, that it was kind of like any other career path that people could take. Mm-hmm. Like you could go to school to be, to learn the craft of cursing and doing magic.
Like that wizard character is so hilarious.
Waxel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like he never passed his final certification,
right.
but he was still practicing as a witch.
Exactly. It's like anyone can try, to do some magic. And, even Tracy tries a little bit, to do some magic.
Yeah, because she needs her bong.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. But, she's not that great at it. But anyone could try. That doesn't mean you're going to be able to, anyone can try to put together something that doesn't make you like a carpenter or, thinking about like all that IKEA stuff that we attempt to put together. I can do this. It's just like, commonplace magic. Like why not? Why can't anyone try? And there are people like Janie Cunningham who is. She's good.
Yeah.
She's gifted and she
got an anger.
Now she's the nemesis.
Yes.
The antagonist, I should say.
Yes.
In the series. Now she's just angry and cursing everybody. What's her problem?
I think love, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unrequited love.
What won't you do for love? Yeah, I think jealousy and
for sure
was the source of like why she felt like she needed to curse me and multiple other people. Mostly no one and I, but
no one is a character.
And no one's a character, played by Sergio.
So can we say his curse was he was invisible and your curse was no one could hear you?
Yeah, so technically, like, the whole thing is, like, not being seen or not being heard. Mm-hmm. I'm sure as, like, creative artists, we all feel that way at a certain point, especially when nobody really knows who you are and you're doing things and...
in life in general, I think we all want to be seen and heard.
Exactly. So
spoken like a therapist.
Yeah, she's amazing.
We all just want to be seen and heard.
Yeah, just be seen. This is true.
It's true. It's the human condition. That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So you did it. You made the series. The series is great. And then you were telling me it went to 12 festivals?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing.
Huge festival run, 12 festivals.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's like LA Film Festival, ITV Fest.
Yes.
We got into a Rio Film Festival. We were just like, what?
Did you go?
We didn't go. No, we couldn't go to all of them.
Yeah.
It's fun, though. Did you win any awards?
We did. We won at Austin Film Festival.
Right. Wasn't that produced?
Was it?
I don't know.
We should know.
Yeah, we should.
Know.
Robin?
Guys!
We should know this.
Well, we know we it was best produced.
Yes.
And then the Rio one was like juvenile, right?
Best like adolescent.
Yeah.
Or like...
Best YA.
Right.
Yeah.
It's great.
Series.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, what's on deck for you guys? What are you doing now?
What's on deck?
Well, you're about to graduate and become a therapist.
That's true.
Are you going to do private practice or something else?
I would like to get into private practice, yes.
Okay, Jennie is now taking clients for private therapy practice, and she really gets artists. So I think you could have a burgeoning business here.
Seriously?
What a plug there.
Right? Yeah, there you go.
To be continued. No, I want to keep analyzing, these characters that come into these stories. So
yeah.
I'm always into that.
And Robin is still writing and producing.
Oh, yeah. So I'm
There's
always
more to come.
I'm always on board to get into these characters that he's creating and being like, I don't know if that would fit, or like, yes, that was great. I don't know. Yeah,
How fun that you get to do both.
It's
great.
I love to dabble. You have to have those creative juices.
Yeah. Partners come in handy.
Right?
Yeah. They're a good duo.
That's really good.
You guys are great.
Anna, how about you? What are you doing?
I just became certified yoga instructor,
Mazel
which is
tov.
pretty cool. But who isn't a yoga instructor, I feel like, at this point?
No, girl.
No. But I'm
Don't be undermining those achievements, girl.
Right. What kind of yoga? There's a thousand different kinds.
Well, that is great too. Yeah, let me talk about that. No, it's vinyasa. I really like making you sweat, and hatha, which is like an alignment-based yoga where I would teach you how to be in a pose properly and all that kind of stuff. Besides that, the creative aspect, I've been writing a short film called Escort Us about a weird chick who finally discovers her sexuality, I guess, and become, what's the right word for it? Would become, she becomes overly sexual in like a one encounter.
Does she become an escort?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I wrote that. I'm trying to figure out now, post-production, all that kind of stuff. And then I have a feature film that I've been writing. So just writing right now and going on auditions, living that.
I was going to say, are you out
actor
auditioning?
life. Yeah. Yep. Those are always fun.
See, it's the worst.
It's so scary.
And luckily you're friends with a therapist who can help you through it.
Yeah, because you're just like, you walk in. I got to a point where it's like, you come in, you do your job as you prepare for this role. And if it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. And I had to stop beating myself up about it because you're like, well, maybe I didn't look right. Like, maybe I could have said this role differently. And like,
it really has nothing to do with you.
Exactly. Because I got to see people audition for No One with Robin because he already knew he wanted me as Tracy. So when people were coming in, men were coming in to play this part, when they would leave, I got to see him talk about it. He'd be like, well, they did a great job. No, they're a really good actor. And I even was like, this person's really great at acting. And he'd be like, but they're not No One. And so when the person, Sergio, came in and he auditioned, he was No One. Like, as soon as he walked in, as soon as he sat down, before he even started auditioning, like, he instantly gave the vibe of No One.
Right.
So I saw that and I was like, wow, it really doesn't, you can be the best actor and actress that you are. Like, freaking Meryl Streep could walk in, you know what I mean?
Right.
And she's just not right for the part. And so it really helped me understand, like, don't beat yourself up, just keep doing it, and right roles will keep coming up to you, and make your own roles. Stop waiting for people to make roles for you. So I've been writing stuff.
That is all the advice rolled into one. Did you hear that? That was perfect. That's great.
Yeah. I don't know. Don't wait for men. Just do it yourself. Roll up your sleeves. Let's do this.
That's right.
Yeah.
So what do you guys make of what has happened like the last 3 years with women in entertainment?
I think it's awesome.
Or in general?
I think it's about time, honestly.
I mean, it's when you look at the statistics of when women are put into roles in, I mean, I'm talking about like the industry, the film industry, but it's probably true, not just the film industry, but
in every industry.
But when women are put as a director or a producer, there you see how there's more diversity in the whole crew, and more women who are then working on set and stuff. So
it actually does trickle down.
Oh, it for sure does. Yeah, and that it's so important.
Why?
Why is it important? I mean, you need
other voices to be heard and told, and
different stories.
Like, especially behind the camera, there's not a lot of female DPs, I feel like, out there. And
they're out there.
I know, but it's very rare. Or directors, like, I don't know, I think it's about time that not only do we stand up and finally have a voice,
right,
and then also helping each other as women. Like, I feel like that's another thing I've noticed is, like, women are more on women's sides. And I think that's important because I don't know about you guys, but women sometimes would get catty, or like, and you're like, no, you got to be together. Like, we all got to do this together. And I think that's amazing. And just seeing this movement of all these women coming together, telling their stories, supporting each other, lifting one another up. I think that's just, it's beautiful. And
it is. I mean, it's impacting the stories that are being told and who they're being told by.
Exactly. And when you watch a film, like, let's just talk about Captain Marvel. Like, I was listening to an interview with Brie Larson, and she's like, you could tell it was touched by multiple women's hands because there was a certain part where she's like, instead of saying get the girl, they say get the woman. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, it's true. Everyone refers to women in films by girl, but we're not girls. Right. We're women, and we're ladies. Like, so I thought it's crazy. Just like those little things are starting to make marks. And I'm sure since you have kids, and when I eventually, and we all have kids, but like your daughter, I'm sure it's huge for her to see that, these strong women that aren't being sexualized in films. I mean, unfortunately, it's still out there, but just being there with their intelligence and their
exactly.
Oh, when it's not, we talk about it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
no, they notice.
Yeah,
it's important.
And so then she's gonna grow up going like, well, it doesn't matter what I look like. It's more about here and like my intellectual side and how I feel and who I am as a person, which I think is huge. And it's about time that we don't have to show ourselves off as like some sex symbol.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With
I mean, can I say this, but like, why can't we see all the dicks in the films? Like, why are we always seeing boobs? Like, come on, you know what I mean? I don't know. But we can't do that. We can't just like flip the table and be like, okay, men, take off all your clothes.
Because double standards.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with what you said, and let's just declare it, like, the age of the catty bitches is over. We're just not doing that anymore.
Yeah, I hated it. I was always like, why are you guys talking about each other? Like, lift each other up.
Right.
Let's just not tolerate it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then that comes in with, like, mental health. Like, that person, well, I mean, really, like, you might catty about it and, like, talk all this stuff and, like, oh, she's crazy. And it's like, well, yeah, maybe she's bipolar, or maybe she's just having a hard time, or, like, you can't just, I don't know.
You know what? Maybe we're just human beings.
Exactly.
Okay?
But
What advice do you have for women coming up after you?
I don't like the word advice.
Well, excuse me.
No, okay.
Is there a different word you like?
It's hard to give advice to people.
What kind of mentorship or guidance would you give to people behind you?
That was a triggering word for me.
you guys, she's slightly...
Sorry.
She's giving us the death glare.
I'm kidding. No.
Oh my god. The eggshells. They're so sharp.
I'm slightly scared. I'm sweating.
What I would
Wait,
say...
are you guys the generation after millennials?
I don't know what I am.
I think we're millennials.
Okay. All right. I'm calibrating. Okay, go.
I have no idea.
This is my advice that I would give. You gotta do you.
Yeah.
Just be you. You need to be passionate.
I love that.
About you. And because if you don't fight for what you want and what you believe in, no one else will. You know, you got to be your own advocate, and you have to stand for what you believe in, and don't think that you have to mold for someone else. You know, just be you, because that's enough. That's what we want. You know, we want
enough.
I love that.
we want you to be you.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. Yeah, that's all I got.
We're going to tweet that.
No,
Tweet it.
I mean, I agree with
beat
you.
that
100%. Yeah, nope. I feel like there should have been a mic drop, but I mean, seriously though, just be yourself. I agree 100%. You're enough. That's who you are.
Because you know, you like you said, like you'll go to those auditions and you might not be that right fit or that look or whatever, but if you just continue being you, you can't be anyone different than you.
Yeah, and there's nobody else out there like you.
Right.
So
And
rock it. Your
exactly.
weirdness, all your flaws,
Fuck yeah.
imperfections.
Oh, sorry, I don't. Gotta bleep that one.
You can swear, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's enough.
That's my nugget.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. What did I not ask you guys about that I should have asked you about?
Let's talk about your bedroom.
My bedroom.
Okay.
I love
Like my real life bedroom?
I loved making her like Tracy Buckles' bedroom.
The set bedroom.
The
Yeah,
set bedroom. It was like one of my faves to make.
Talk about it. Why?
I mean, honestly, it was like, because Tracy was this empowered woman, and I wanted that to come through in her bedroom, but she was also like a little bit of everything. So it was cluttered and a little messy.
Mm-hmm. I remember walking in. You wouldn't let me see it until it was done, and I brought some of my own stuff.
Is that true? How mean.
Well,
Did I do that?
I think you were like,
What did you
no,
put
it's
in
not
it?
ready yet.
What did I put in the bedroom?
Yeah.
I mean, there was a little bit of everything in that bedroom. I went to different friends' houses and was like, can I use this? And I would just like go shopping at friends' homes. And I'd be like, yeah, I was like, can I use this on set? I'll give it back, promise. And I worked with all these ladies that were like these empowerment ladies, and I remember I had these pins that were like, it takes ovaries, and like I wanted to incorporate that in, and I just loved her room.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
I think she was cool. I loved it. It was like a dream room, you know, as a kid. I loved it.
She has like random condoms.
Condoms hanging down. My
You
face is
can
on
see,
like Julie Andrews at the Sound of
down?
Music.
Like they're
Yeah.
like literally hanging in different places.
Were they
condoms.
used?
No.
No, it's like it was like promoting like safe sex, consent. Like let's get that. Type
You know,
thing in
like,
there.
so if I walk
Like
out
a-
my bedroom, I could rip one off
Like
and
a
just
strip
put it
of
in my
condoms.
pocket kind of thing. I got this. We're safe. Let's go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when the mom peeps in the door, like there's a string of condoms just like right by mom's face. Like,
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
it's like girls being safe. You know?
She's
Great.
learning.
Okay, what else?
What else?
Ooh, when Sergio had to, when no one put his pants down, that was quite the funnest thing ever in the world. Okay, let me rephrase that.
Okay, unpack that.
When Sergio, who plays no one, he is explaining to Tracy that he can't be seen. So he pantses himself, basically. Like, takes his pants off.
Oh.
I think that got cut.
I don't remember that scene.
That got cut.
Well, he didn't actually take his pants. Like, you don't see it, but he is standing there, isn't he? And I'm like, I can still see you. That's still there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it is.
You'll have to watch and find out.
We'll have to watch.
Well, I just remember what was funny about it is, like, there was a concert in the park happening. There was people constantly walking by, and this poor guy literally had to take his pants down.
Right.
Yeah, and I thought it was the funniest thing ever. And then you guys were, like, handing out flyers, make sure, like, they signed for being an extra and walking through, and I thought it was so funny. And I was like, okay, Sergio, it's your time to shine.
Exactly.
Just out in public with the public walking
just
around.
out in public, yeah, in his boxers. I thought it was great.
That is great.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
I did a short film in the 90s in New York City, and there was a scene where a guy was chasing us with a gun. And we're doing a student film, so we don't think anything of it. Someone, of course, called the police.
Oh my God.
Like running with a gun through the street. But yeah, it all turned out fine. But like,
You're like, no, it's fake, I swear.
things you do in filmmaking that you know, you don't even, it doesn't occur to you.
Yeah.
Right?
Tell the police this is happening so no one actually gets shot on this
Yeah.
film.
Oh my God.
It's like, I can't imagine doing that today.
Oh no, you'd be
Dead.
And yeah, nope.
Yeah.
That wouldn't
exactly.
happen at all.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
What was your favorite thing about doing this, Anna?
Oh, I feel like there's so many things, honestly. Like every day coming on set was different, and I loved playing Tracy. I loved working with Robin and Jason and you and Sam Doty, and everybody was just amazing. So I felt very comfortable coming onto set to be like to do my job basically. Like I wasn't scared or nervous. I knew they knew what they were doing behind the camera. You guys had it. So I thought that was amazing. But really just getting to tell this story and playing Tracy, I think was just so amazing to me and fun, and yeah. The whole thing, the whole process. I can't pick one thing.
The whole thing was my favorite.
Yeah, I can't pick one thing. I
Loved it all.
really, yeah. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's like, when do you have somebody call you and be like, hey, I got a part for you? And then you get to be, so it's like...
That's pretty great.
The whole thing is a miracle, and everybody was just awesome. It was a really good cast and crew.
How about you, Jennie?
I would definitely echo that. I mean, the crew is, to me, it was like a family.
Yeah.
When we get in there, there's just a comfortable feeling. I love being on set. There's this energy that is undeniable. When the camera starts rolling, you feel, the palpable creativity and all these minds just working together on this one mission. But everybody has a different job and a different role to play. And I love that.
It is a little bit of magic.
It's a little bit of magic.
How did you guys fund this?
True. How did we?
I mean, that's a question for you.
We did it on our own.
You just did it.
We just did it. There was no really
You didn't do
outside
crowdfunding or anything like
No,
that?
we did it. It's
Great.
kind of like our own film school. Put in the time and the effort, and we didn't pay anybody. We paid people with food.
I mean, some good food, though.
We wanted to pay people with,
Yeah.
We were like, we can't offer you much, but we can feed you.
Yeah.
And
That's great.
we thrift store most things, and
Thank you guys so much.
thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for the coffee.
My pleasure.
In the
Anytime.
chat.
Yeah, it was nice.
Do you feel like we're done? Is there more?
I feel like I could sit here and talk to you all day, but that's just me.
This is just so good.
I just wonder if people want to sit and listen to us all day.
Right? I don't know.
I know. You've been listening to The Other 50%, a herstory of Hollywood. I'm Julie Harris Walker. I'd like to thank Anna Lake and Jennie Nystrom for sharing their stories.
And special thanks to Jay Rowe, Danny Rosner, and Allison McQuaid for the music. Please find us on your favorite podcast provider and leave a review. And of course, on our website, theother50%.com, all spelled out, for added features, bios of our guests, and the merch. And you can also follow us on all the social media platforms. And go subscribe to catchabreakpodcast.com. Thanks for listening. See you next time.